This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's so great to have you joining me here in these online lessons. This is lesson 39 in this series that is all about jazz guitar. As you know, I love jazz guitar. I work as a jazz guitarist. I'm a recording jazz artist. So I love jazz, and I am so delighted to bring this course to you. Now, in this lesson, we're going to look at the fully diminished seventh chords. In lesson 33, so a few lessons ago, I introduced a formula for creating some of the most common or most popular jazz voicings that we end up playing on the guitar. And then in the last few lessons, we've been working various types of chords: minor sevenths, major sevenths, minor major sevenths, dominant sevenths, dominants with ninths, altered dominants. We got the minor sevenths and the major sevenths with ninths or 13ths or sharp 11ths. So we've looked at a lot of different chords. We're going to look at the fully diminished seventh chord here in this lesson. We're going to work it with a chord progression. So it's going to be great. Let's just go ahead and take a look, because this is a chord that we play from time to time. So the fully diminished seventh chord has that root, that minor third, that diminished fifth, and then that diminished seventh, which is a double flatted seventh, which is the same as the major sixth, actually. Kind of an interesting correlation there. And I have the two voicings that use the formula that I introduced in lesson 33 that are kind of probably our most go-to diminished seventh chords on the guitar. So I've circled the root, though interestingly enough, with fully diminished seventh chords, any note can function as the root. And sometimes I'll take this form right here, take this, what's on our low sixth string, move it to the high string and play these four notes and just use one of those pitches, make sure that it matches the root that I'm looking for. Sometimes I'll play it that way. But in the formula that we're working on right here, these are our go-to options. So if I were to demonstrate this with B flat there at the 6th fret on that 6th string, you've got that diminished seventh. I like to bar over here, though some people that I know like to actually finger them individually, but I usually choose to bar. I find that it's an easier grab. So I put my middle finger here, index, and then ring finger. So I got that as an example. Staying in that same position, we could do E flat. I've got my middle finger here, and then ring and pinky, and then index. So kind of a comfortable and easy grab, I find. It's really not too bad. So this is our fully diminished seventh chord. Now when we see this written in a chord symbol, we're going to see the little superscript open circle and then followed by a seventh. That's how we know we're playing a fully diminished seventh chord. So we want to get comfortable with both of those voicings, and then, as we like to do, we're going to take them around the circle of force. So if this is the first lesson you're jumping in on, you're probably going to want to check out more lessons on the channel, the previous ones. We're getting all these foundational jazz skills down here, but with something we've done a lot and that we're going to do right now is go around the circle of force practicing these voicings. So I do have it down here if you need it to review. You can take a screenshot if you need to, but C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and then B, E, A, D, G, C. So if we start on C, on that 6th string, where we have that root at the 8th fret, F is going to be at the 8th fret on the next string. We go down 2 frets and do 6th string for B flat, then 5th string for E flat, down 2 frets for A flat on that 6th string, D flat on the 5th string, and then we're going to go up to G flat at the 9th fret, still on the 5th string, then down 2 frets, we get that B at the 7th fret on the 6th string, and then E on the 7th fret, but 5th string, A at the 5th fret, D at the 5th fret, down 2 frets, we get that G on the 6th string, and then back to C. So we could take right around the circle of force with the diminished seventh chords, just like that. And I'm just plucking with my fingers. I'm just doing a pinch, which you can do, or you can just strum it. We'll just keep it to that basic rhythm that we've worked on before, because that just gives us a chance to focus on playing the chords and not worrying about the comping. When I do things with students and when I'm working on things, I like to work on one new element at a time. So we'll just work on this chord, keep that comping rhythm simple. So we'll do 2 times per chord like that. Do that, and then we'll go on to the next one. So we got 1, a 2, I 1, 2, ready. Starting with the C diminished 7th. Then up to the F diminished 7th. And B flat diminished 7th. We got the E flat diminished 7th. We got the A flat diminished 7th. D flat diminished 7th. G flat diminished 7th. We'll do B diminished 7th. We got the E diminished 7th. We got the A diminished 7th. We got the D diminished 7th. We got the G diminished 7th. And then we got the C diminished 7th. Now I don't know that I have ever run into moving from one fully diminished 7th chord to the next through the circle of force or even a piece of it in a song. Like we do that a lot of times when we're moving from other voicings, like the major 7th on the 1, that's the 1 chord, moving to the 4 chord, for example. Or we might even get the 2-5-1 movement, which we've worked on a ton. But it's still great to go around that circle of force, work those voicings, get them under our fingers. So do that as much as you need to. Now in this lesson, I also have a little progression for us so we can work the diminished 7th chords more in context of how we might run into it in actual songs. And so I've got here a way that we see it a lot. We're going to go with starting off with our 1 major 7, and I've used voicings from the last few lessons, so I've just chosen some up here on the board and I have them here as a review. But what we're going to do, and I can show it down here but I'll show it up above, is we're going to start with that 1 major 7 and then we're going to go to the sharp 1 diminished 7th or the flat 2 diminished 7th. It's the same pitch, whichever way you want to think of it, which just moves us up a fret. And then we'll go to the actual 2 chord, play that 2 minor 7, to the 5-7, in this case it's going to be a 5-9, and then we're going to come back to the 1 major 7. So if I do that, just for example there in B flat as an example, I'm going to have my B flat chord, and then I'm going to come up to the B diminished, and then I'm going to have my C minor 7, and then I'm going to do my F9 in this case, and then I'm back to B flat major 7. So if we just go through that much there, we'd have B flat major 7, to the B diminished, to the C minor, to the F9, and we're going to go back to B flat major. So you want to work that as much as you need to get comfortable with playing those just like that. And I'll make sure I am not getting in the way of seeing that board. So again, B flat major 7, up to that B diminished 7th, to the C minor 7, to the F9, to that B flat major 7. Once you've got that one down, you want to look at the next set. So if we looked instead at E flat, so E flat major 7, then we're going to go to that sharp 1 diminished 7th or flat 2, so E diminished 7th. Then we're going to go up to F minor 9, down to B flat 13, and then we'll come back to E flat major there, just as it's spelled out in review of what those chords look like. So E flat, up to E diminished, to F minor 7, to B flat 13, back to E flat major 7. We could do that again. You got 1, 2, ready, and you got the E flat major 7, to the E diminished, to the F minor 9, to the B flat 13, back to E flat major 7. Now you can work that as much as you need to. We can go around the circle of force doing this very thing. So I've got this written down here just a little bit. So our C major 7 is where we're going to start. We'll start in the key of C. We're going to do that sharp 1, diminished 7th, or flat 2, either way. And then D minor 7, G7, C major 7, and then we're going to turn it into the dominant 7th chord. So we're going to take that major chord and make it dominant, which is going to borrow the dominant chord from the opposite form. And then we'll go on to the next key, and so then we'll be switching to F major 7 and F sharp, and then we'll borrow that dominant chord from over here on the top. So just to walk through what happens here on the board, if I start on C major 7, then I'm going to go up to C sharp diminished 7th, then D minor 7, to the G9, and then I'm going to go C major 7. Then I'm going to make it a C13, which will pull to the F major 7, and then I'll do F sharp diminished, and then G minor 7 to C7 to F major 7. Make that then come F dominant 7th. And we'll pull to B flat, and we'll continue on through the entire circle of force until we've made it back to the key of C. So I'm just going to go through this nice and slow. This is a really great exercise to work all these keys and to just work this 1 sharp 1 diminished or flat 2 diminished 7th to the 2, which is something that we see from time to time in the music. It's not uncommon for the diminished 7th chord to go up to a chord that's a half step above it. So pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and do this nice and slow. I got 1, 2, ready, and we'd have C major 7 to the C sharp diminished 7th to the D minor 7 to the G9, then to that C major 7. We're going to make it C13. Then we're going up to F major 7, F sharp diminished 7th, G minor 9, C13 to the F major 7, then the F9, pulling us to the key of B flat. So you got B flat major 7, B diminished 7th, C minor 7 to the F9, to that B flat major 7, and then to that B flat 13. And then we're up to E flat major 7, E diminished 7th, F minor 7, B flat 13, and the E flat major 7. We play that E flat 9 that pulls us to A flat major 7, A diminished 7th, B flat minor 7, E flat 9, A flat major 7, A flat 13. And then we got D flat major 7, D diminished 7, E flat minor 7 to A flat 13. To the D flat major 7 to D flat 9. I'm going to go down to G flat and then the G diminished, A flat minor 7, D flat 7, G flat, and then I'm going to pull that G flat 7 to B. And I'm actually going to come up here because we're going to run out of room down low. So I've gone up and grabbed the B major 7. You could continue there, but I'm going to grab the B major 7 that's at the 7th fret. So you got red, D, and we got the B major 7 to the C diminished, C sharp minor 7, F sharp 9 to that B major 7, then B 13, which pulls me to E major 7, F diminished, F sharp minor 7, B 13, and that E major 7. Then make that E dominant, pulling us to A, and then A sharp diminished, B minor 7, E9, back to A, major 7 to the A13, pulls us to D, so D major 7, D sharp diminished, E minor 7, A13, then that D major 7 to the D9, pulls us to G major, G sharp diminished, A minor 7, D9, G major 7, G13, and we're back to C, which we can finish off right here. Just D minor 7, G13, and we can end there on the C. Just like that. And you could actually just keep going around and around and around as much as you want to. So that's a great way to work that chord. Sounds really great. And those are pieces of things that happen in songs that we want to play on guitar. So super, super cool. All right. So that wraps us up for this lesson. We have covered so many great voicings that we end up playing on the guitar. The most popular go-to ones, 4-note especially, voicings that we play on the guitar for jazz, and so super fun. Now, we've done all these with simple rhythms. In the next lesson, we're going to look at the bossa nova comping rhythm, which is pretty cool. So that's what we're going to work on next. And as we get that down, we'll end up working on some rootless voicings. So we're going to work the rootless voicings with the formula that I explained in lesson 33. And we'll work on some different swing comping rhythms as well. So those are the next things coming up in the lesson. Right now, we're working these chords. Of course, many of the early lessons that we did worked on some improvisation things, which we'll be returning to with bebop and so on coming after we get through these chords and get some etudes and things happening. So lots of great things to come with the jazz lessons, which right now are coming out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the channel. We got Technique Tuesdays, which jazz players need. We got Theory Thursdays, which jazz players need. So there's also lessons on those days coming out that are really helpful. And on Saturdays, we're working on blues, rock, and pop improv, so soloing in those styles, which is super fun. Of course, there's hundreds upon hundreds of lessons already on the channel that are available to help you with various things. So lots of great material. Keep having fun, take care, and we'll see you again. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.